Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation.
Well, the very first season of Alone Australia wrapped up last night. I hosted the reunion that you could watch on SBS On Demand.
You got on the right bandwagon there.
It's also going to be on tonight, 7:30 on SBS. One of the most impressive humans you will ever meet in your life is Gina, who won the very first season. I was thrilled when I met her. If you watch the show Alone, the seasons that have been done in the past overseas, you will know that you will be talking to the medic, perhaps, when a loved one comes up behind you and surprises you. That's how you know you have lasted the longest in the wilderness. This is what happened to Gina last night after 67 days alone in the wild.
It's really strange not knowing when this will end.
I find myself saying, when I get out of here, I'm going to ... So when I get out of here, I'm going to take my friends out to dinner. When I get out of here, I'm going to give my mum the biggest hug she's ever had in her life, you know. When I get out of here, I'm going to take my niece Amy out camping. They're the kinds of things. It's more that this place is giving me a... No way! What the
Yeah.
Oh my God!
You did it.
You're here.
Can I give you a hug?
Yes.
Yay.
No!
Well done.
And that was that moment.
That was Lee, Gina's ex-partner, the father of her daughter Blaze, who tapped her on the shoulder and said, guess what, you've won. Gina joins us now. Hi, Gina.
Hi, Amanda. Hi, Jonesy.
Gina, you got to take everyone out for dinner now. You said it.
I do. You know what? And I can't wait to do that.
What a flood of love I've been reading. Even before you won, people were saying, gee, I hope it's Gina, because you were such a character from left of field. Other people went in to fight nature. You just seemed to float on your back and trust that the universe would provide for you.
Yes, pretty much like an otter. You know how those little creatures, they lie there with their paws up on their chest and kind of like scruffle their whiskers? That's pretty much what I did.
Amazing. And it was so incredible what you shared with the audience in the same way that we saw Chris survive a PTSD storm. As you said, your grief storm, when it was your daughter's birthday, your daughter passed away at the age of 3, you said it's good for society to see that these things have a beginning and an end.
Yeah, well, it's one of the things that I know from, a lifetime of helping people process emotions and definitely going into to feel my own. And after losing my daughter when she was 3, discovering that our Western culture has, in my view, very limited ceremonies and rituals for grief that are healthy, and I couldn't find anything to lean on. So I had to figure it out for myself, and what I figured out was that grief needs to be felt. It asks to be felt, and the more we talk about it, the more we pull it out of the boxes, the more we have an understanding of how to feel it without it breaking us.
Mike was the runner-up, and we saw Mike. He was like the coyote and the roadrunner trying to catch the wallaby, the paddy melon. And he traps, and he had this and he had that. It was like a bush ballad. You went to the loo and fell over one.
You fell over a wallaby.
Well, actually, it probably more fell over me. I went out for a pee, and after I'd go out for a pee, because my body was really uncomfortable, I would sit on a log and talk to the moon for quite a while and just hang there, because my bed felt like a bed of rocks, and I was sort of putting off going back to lie in it. And I'd been sitting out there for a bit just communing, and all of a sudden, I felt this presence next to me. And I don't know if it came in for the pee or if I smelt like a bushfire as well, because I'd been sleeping in the possum coat in the shelter with a fire for so long. I probably didn't even smell like a human anymore. But whatever it was, this little creature just kind of like glumped next to me, and it was like my body responded before my mind. I don't really remember. It was like I kind of came to landing on it, and then figured out very quickly that I had to find a way of dispatching it.
Wow, and you did it so well, and you're the only person to successfully kill a marsupial and eat it on the show.
Yeah.
But that bit last night when you're just gnawing into the ribs and stuff, I'm going, okay.
So don't do that. Honestly, don't do that. It's like survival wisdom is you always cook everything because there are parasites. But it looked so good. And after all of those days of being protein and fat starved, when I was pulling all of the bits of meat off it, I first of all, I was like, oh, I'll just have a little bit. And then once I started, I was like, this is actually delicious. So I couldn't help myself.
Is that how you're going to look in restaurants from now on?
Well, I pretty much probably have looked like that in restaurants for quite a while. It's just that now I've got an excuse.
Yeah, look out for Gina at Ribs and Rums.
Yep, that's the one.
Well, it's so great to meet you, and you were so great on the show. I just really fell in love with you, and I'm sure most of Australia did. And tonight, the reunion of Alone Tonight, I'm glad Amanda chose to host this and not the reunion of Blow Up, the balloon show.
Gina's going on that next.
Go on Blow Up. Well, Mike could go on Blow Up because he was swearing like a trooper. He was going off his cracker all the time.
I think I dropped a few F-bombs, especially at the end there.
That was so great when you saw Liam just let fly. It was a very Australian reunion.
Yeah, it was really weird. It was like I didn't know that he was there. Like I was so deeply immersed in the wilderness, and it felt so much like home that anything out of context, almost like it wasn't there. I didn't really have any human interaction apart from the very, very, very bare minimum when there'd be a med check. And so having this human from my world suddenly materialise in this world, it took me a little while to be able to believe he wasn't a hologram.
Well, tonight, 7:30 on SBF, you will see the Alone reunion with our very own Amanda Keller and Gina, front and centre, and the rest of the crew.
It was one of the big pleasures of my life to hang with you, and here's to more.
Oh, definitely. Thank you so much. You looked after us so well on that show, all us little fledglings. And, thank you for taking care of us, and thanks for the chat.
Good on you, Gina. Thank you very much.